Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, not joined today by Nate Weitzer. He's got another game video up for you guys today. We did this a little bit differently, but we do still have plenty of content for you guys up for this Monday slate, where we've got 11 games on the docket. But in this one, I'm going to be taking a look at the Nets and Knicks playing in New York, regardless of which venue the Knicks are at home in this one. But I would say they're probably home everywhere whenever they play the Nets in New York. Either way, Nate has another one up for you. We each have our own set of player props. See how each of us do on this Monday night in those. So just make sure to like and subscribe to that page so you can catch all the stuff we're bringing you guys today and throughout the rest of this NBA season. Also head to thelines.com. We got all our great written content up there for you guys as always. And you can use our odds finder tool to make sure that you're getting the best juice back on all those bets that the sportsbooks are giving you guys in the NBA this season. I'm going to jump right into my game, Knicks and Nets in Madison Square Garden tonight. The Knicks are currently roughly 2.5 favorites, depending where you find it, maybe 3 points. And that's exactly where it opened. This game total is currently at 220.5, opened at 223.5. So people obviously betting this one down a little bit. Storylines in this game just to look at. I mean, Seth Curry's out, Mitch Robinson's still out for each of those teams respectively. But more importantly, this is a very new look Brooklyn team. As we know, they are now 1-1 since Dinwiddie came to the team. Kyrie traded, and then KD left as well, going to the Suns. So that brought in a few different guys, obviously, for this Nets team, including Mikal Bridges, who had a nice game in their loss to Philly. They have beaten the Bulls by 11 and then lost to Philly by 3, even though they were winning most of that game, including by double digits at one point in the third quarter. Philly came back in the third quarter at the end there, then was able to take the game over in the fourth. But if you look at the difference in this team now, this is now a 3-point shooting team. This is a 3-and-D team with a ton of wings on it and a ton of tall wings on it. Probably a much better rebounding team for the rest of the year as well. Not necessarily because they got a center of any kind, but Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, 2 guys that are really big and really solid rebounders as well. They are now in the last 2 games, obviously small sample size, but you just look at the difference in the style of play. They're scoring the 5th highest percentage of their points off of 3, as opposed to 17th before the trades. That's 15 threes a game that they've in the last 2 on 36%. Third fewest points off of 2-pointers as opposed to 13th. No more mid-range, as we know, without Kyrie and KD. They were second in percentage points off mid-range. They're now 17th. And they are better in certain terms of the hustle stats, as you would expect as well. 9th and second chance points as opposed to second to last previously. They still can't score in the paint, where the Knicks are, keeping people from being able to score as well, but they're 3rd fewest points in the paint as opposed to 8th fewest previously. Just still can't really do it. Not anybody down there that you worry about. They're playing at about a 96.5 pace, a little bit slower actually. 99.5 was what they were playing at. But they're better on defense as well. So in terms of what that matchup does for them against the Knicks, I like the Knicks to be able to kind of stop what they do now a lot better. You look at the Knicks defense in the last 4 that they've played at home. They're top 7 in everything from opponents' points off of turnovers, opponents' second chance points, opponents' fast break points. They're 3rd in opponents' points in the paint, which they're always good at. And they've been much better defending the 3, which is something that you can, that's a tool that teams have used to beat the Knicks. It's a pretty stark difference between when they stop the 3-pointer and when they don't. In their losses this season, they're allowing 15 made threes, which is right at Brooklyn's at in those last couple games, like I said. And then in their wins, only 10 threes for their opponent allowed. Obviously, that 15-point difference, a huge difference for them. At home, they are better, where they're playing this game. They're allowing 12 there, as opposed to about 13.5, 14 made threes on the road, where they're really, really bad. So, like I said, they've gotten better in the areas where I think the Nets are going to try to win this game. Obviously, in terms of limiting second chance points, limiting points and getting points off of turnovers, I should say, where the Knicks are 5th in limiting opponents' points off of turnovers, because they're not really turning the ball very much at all, which is why they've been successful in their last couple weeks playing. 5th in limiting fast break points, easy for me to say, overall as well. So, getting back on defense, not turning the ball over, and limiting the ways that I think that this Brooklyn Nets team is obviously going to try to score. It's going to be a lot of dribble, drive, and kick for 3, and then a lot of try to get the ball in transition and play a little bit more helter-skelter. And that just happens to be where the Knicks, are very solid right now, winning 3 of their last 4 at home, keeping their offensive rating high high as well, scoring 117 a game. Their games at home right now actually averaging about 230 points in their last 4 at home with only a 96 pace. So they're playing really efficiently with that 118 offensive rating. And it should be said, I mean, I probably should have led with it, but the Nets have won the last 9 versus the Knicks wherever they're playing. And I think it's an opportunity where this is going to be a much different game. So the -2 spread here for the Knicks, 2.5, whatever, I'm fine with that. And that's super, definitely 100% my preferred bet. The 220.5, I can see it going either way. It's a little too 50-50 for me. I think the pace that these two teams are playing at around 96 does tell you that there's probably going to be, not as many possessions. There's not going to be as many points in this one. So I can understand it getting bet down. I think if it gets anywhere below this and closer to 218, I'm kind of out either way, to be honest. I still kind of prefer the under, even though, the Nets are playing, a little bit better or a little more fluid offense. I mean, say what you want. It's a little bit more fun to watch, even though KD and Kyrie cooking is always fun to watch. This is a little bit more fluid offense and open style basketball that I think is often more fun to watch with more points coming in. But I think the Knicks are going to be able to handle all of that. Like I said, I think this matchup is exactly what they'd prefer it to be than what the teams were before this trade. So this is a good one for guys like Julius Randle, I think. I mean, obviously Jalen Brunson can probably cook in this one as well, although I think he might have a little bit more trouble with those wing defenders and the length that Brooklyn now possesses on defense as a much better team. I mean, 221 was that total versus Chicago, and then just the 210 or so, not even, I'm sorry, 199 versus the 76ers, as they couldn't even get to 100 points themselves. So yeah, I think in the fourth quarter you like the Knicks' ability to control this thing the way that the 76ers came back and were able to handle the fourth quarter. A little bit more of a stronger identity at this point, and the Knicks know what they are with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle in the fourth quarter. I don't know that the Nets have that guy at this point that you can feel comfortable about betting on them to be able to pull this one out in the fourth if it is even close at that point. So that is all the time I have for you in this one. As I said, make sure to like and subscribe. Nate's got his game video up for you guys. And then we've also got our player props, each of us. So about 8 of them for you guys on this Big Monday slate. So until we see you next, happy betting.